Hey there, it's James Taylor here, keynote speaker on creativity and innovation and the founder of SuperCreativityU. Today I want to share with you a very simple yet powerful technique for improving your brainstorming sessions. Hey there, James Taylor here, keynote speaker on creativity, innovation and the founder of SuperCreativityU. Now, something I'm often brought in to help organizations with is improving their brainstorming or their ideation sessions, whether that's in person or whether that's virtual. And there's lots of different techniques you can use if you're trying to do brainstorming ideation sessions. I want to share one with you just now that's very simple. It's existed for a long time, but it's still equally powerful. And it's actually something you can really use very well in a virtual environment if you're not in the same physical space. And I first kind of got this idea of this technique from an exhibition I visited by the German Nobel Prize winning German poet Herta Müller. Herta Müller used to do something very interesting. As she was working on her poetry, she was maybe creating some poems, she was devising, thinking about this. In order to just kind of push yourself out of her comfort zone and maybe come at the sentence or the line from a different perspective, she would have this collection of bits of paper with random words. They might be a noun, they might be a verb. And then what she would do is she would use that word as a jumping off point to think about, oh, okay, well, how does that word reflect on this, what I'm trying to say here? And sometimes it didn't reflect at all, but what it did is it just moved her out maybe a stuck place on a sentence to moving into a different place. Another very famous user of this idea of random words and as a brainstorming technique was David Bowie, the musician David Bowie. Now, in David Bowie's case, initially what he would do is he would get newspapers and he would cut out words from the newspapers and he actually just put them in a drawer, in a bag. And as he was working on a lyric for a new song, what he would do is he would occasionally just reach into that bag, pick out a word, and this random word, and look at it and think, okay, what does that mean? How does that relate to this song? How can I use this word? How can this inspire me maybe to take a different direction with this sentence or this line that I'm writing just now? Now, as time went on, he was able to make it a little bit kind of fancy. We actually got a computer which generated random words to allow him to do that. And I think this is actually very useful if you're in the world of marketing, especially. I see this used a lot in marketing or in innovation labs. So this is what I would encourage you to do. If you're working on an idea for a campaign, you're thinking about the problem, the challenge you're trying to solve, the kind of campaign you want to maybe design, it's often very useful just to go and grab a random word. And there's a couple of ways that you can do this. So what I'm going to suggest you do is there's websites like Random Word Generator. If you just Google Random Word Generator, that's one way of doing it. And it will just generate random words and you can just use those. And the point is they are random. You've not thought about these words, but they're just kind of random coming to you. Other ways you can do it, you can take up bits of paper, you can have a whole bunch of different words on post-it notes and use those. So for example, what we'll sometimes do is, I was doing an event the other day and we used this one brainstorming technique, this random words technique. And they were, in this case, it was a bank and they were stuck on a particular challenge. They were unsure really to where to go with this particular product that they were working on. So we used a random word, and I think the word was river. River. Okay, river. So, okay, what if we made this product like a river? What do we think of? What the component parts of a river was? Water. There's flowing. There's no impediments. It flows like water, goes around, goes up, goes under, and from there, and I wouldn't say what the client was and what the end result was from that, but they used that word as a jumping off point, and it allowed them to create a little innovation in this particular product they were wanting to offer, and just slightly reposition how they were doing it and how they were trying to tell the story about this product to their target market. So that's just one little example, and I can give you lots more. I've used this kind of random words with financial services, with technology companies, with big pharma companies, fast-moving consumer product companies. Where I tend to find it works best, especially is in the marketing function, or if you have a new product that you're working on, or you have a new challenge, you want to take a different approach to it. Using this random words concept is very useful for that. So this is what I'd like you to do. Think about maybe a challenge that you've got just now. Maybe you've got a new product, new service, new thing you're thinking about launching. And I want you to go online, search random word generator, pull up a random word, and over the course of the next few days, I want you to think about how that word can apply to whatever is the challenge that you're trying to solve. Now, you're going to get maybe some pretty mad ideas from that. And at first, it might be a little bit of a struggle because you're going to have to use a little bit more of imagination in your thinking. But what it will allow you to do is it will allow you maybe from being a fixed state, maybe being stuck on a problem, just to create some movement. Maybe that word is never the thing you end up using in that particular product or that campaign. And it's the ideas that come from that word are not the ones you end up using. But what is important is it increases that flexibility of mind, it gets you to open up your mind to new possibilities. So that's the random words technique for brainstorming sessions and ideation sessions. And if you'd like me, maybe I could come in and work with some of your team. We could do a great virtual workshop and we can teach you some of these different techniques. Then head over to my website at jamestaylor.me. It'd be great if you want to ensure that you subscribe to this channel because you get lots of new little tips like this every week. My name is James Taylor. Thanks for watching.